Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Been a while, so we'll get straight into it. So, as I said at the start, it's been a very long time since my last update for the layout. Not much has really changed, but it has. So, yeah, we'll flip the camera around in a minute and we'll go through. On the last video, I think I cut it too short. There was a piece that I missed on the end. Just to say thank you to the new subscribers. I think I'm on 501 now. I was a little bit higher, but I've dropped a few. Obviously, for the lengthy gap that I've had out. Yeah, so I muchly appreciate it. I didn't think I'd reach 500. So it's nice to see. I was thinking of a giveaway, but in the current state of affairs with this whole COVID thing, I'm probably leaning against a giveaway of some sort. This time round, I might get something like a mugs or pens or something done and do it that way. We'll see. So yeah, we'll flip around the camera and I'll show you what I've been up to on the last nearly 12 months since the last update. I think it might be shorter, I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, we'll be back in a sec, guys. So the noticeable difference you can see at the minute is where these lines are is where the layout was originally, and as you can see, you know what I mean, there's not much height. So now if I pan back, I have lowered them drastically, to say the least. So I'm able to sit, pardon the mess, on the floor, a little cushion that I've got from the caravan that we no longer need. So this has given me more space along as where the layout was previous. Obviously I was restricted by that beam, but now that I've gone drastically lower, I can, if I need to put storage of tracks or something, I can go out on both sides. So yeah, it's a lot more easier to work with instead of trying to stretch over the top of the layout. Although it's a bit more harder to get underneath with more or less lying on my back at some points, but I'm sure I'll overcome that with the advances ahead. So as you can see, that the old layout has gone, track work, whatnot, and I've started to redevelop the layout on the plan that me and James Cullen at James DMU came up with. I've made a few amendments to that plan, where it was 2 tracks going around on the outside that were constant, and then the 2 tracks on the inner with a bit of junction work fed in to the fiddle yard. Well, that is still the case, but I will have 4, to start at this point because it's the easiest way to describe it, I'll have 4 tracks, each branching off, obviously going down into the storage yard, fiddle yard, dictated by 2 double slips. So this will be the bit that comes up, in, through, and then down. So my plan and thinking is the outer track there will just be a constant loop in and out of the fiddle yard, storage yard. Yes, it will have a track that goes in and through the station. It will not have a platform along the back there, as that will be dictated by 1, 2, and 3. So I'll have 3 platforms. The outer track will more or less be for I'm trying to think of a word now, freight to just pass through, or just a non-stop train. So I'll be able to have 4 trains running. As I said, that one will be constant in and out, just through that junction there and down. I will change it, you know, depend on suit. But 3 tracks, well, obviously it'll be 4 coming into the station and through, but then as of here and on the other side, it'll go down to 3. So I'll have two passenger trains coming around, and then back round to this part here, and then the third one will be for freight. I will have, I think on this side, the 4th, it won't directly change from 4 to 3. It'll be the 4, and then it'll progress somewhere around here into the 3 tracks with a signal, an aspect signal of some kind, to dictate that if it needs to move from that track to the inner one, or however I'll do it, but it just gives it a bit of more variety of operating. Obviously I'll put the boards, I'm standing on the board there that goes this bit here, so it'll go down and around, and then from there all this section or side of the board will be the fiddle yard, storage yard, and then it'll all go back down into its 2 up and around the back, and then joined up into them 2. So it'll all be raised off the boards, just so it gives it a bit more variation, as when it was all on the previous board. Obviously you can see with the matchsticks it was all flat, and then the only height difference was this section here where the old canal was going to go, well, was going, it's still staying, it's just getting redesigned. So my plan in thinking, if I can try and get this to look right, apologies about the shaky camera, I have got the cork, I will have cork underlay going on under it when this 57 wants to behave and go on the tracks. Obviously, for 7 months of last year I was working in Manchester, so you know what I mean, working in and around there gave me some inspiration for designing this part of the layout. So that's more or less what I'm after, from over there somewhere behind that cork all the way along, and then up to that point it'll change. I'll have arches going over the canal, apartment building more or less there, and 3 or 4 apartment blocks along the back there. I might cut the retaining wall short along here somewhere and have an arch for the road and the access. I will have, I think on that corner there, I did mention about, I think on the previous video, saying about building apartments and making it look like a construction site. Well, that's going to be moved to there, on that corner, just to give it a bit more open space, because it's more or less flat, so I don't have to try and cut a bit out of the board and then sink it in and kind of go around down that route really. So yeah, as we'll go right from the junction here. So as I said, the 2 tracks go down the back there. This will all be again dictated by the size of the loft. It'll all be set track. I bought, if I can find them, these little spacers off eBay. I think I paid £3, £4, whatever for them. 3D printed. You get 4, I think it's 4 of these ones, and then 1 with a 3 in. It is somewhere. I've come to the point now, you put something down in this room and it just disappears and grows legs. But anyway, so yeah, the idea is to have platform start roughly, number one platform, come around and then possibly finish around here. Same again for the one in the middle, but obviously that's going to serve line number 2 and 3. See if I can get you in. You can just make out the pencil mark roughly of where the platform's going to go. Obviously that pencil mark along the back there is where the 4th radius curve will follow. I think it was about, we're gone that much away from the track. I'm not 100% sure on what I'm going to fill that area with. That might be for another a bit more down the line. I'm more focused on trying to get the track down right from the word go this time round, whereas last time obviously I've kind of learned that everything needs to be level, but I need to make sure that it's level and all the rest of it, so everything is level where it hasn't been. I mean, I've managed to adjust supports and stuff to make sure that it is, so we won't have the same problem of trains derailing and all the rest of it. With the incline going up and down, I have tested, it will, I think up from there it'll start to go down and around, and I think once it reaches there it's more or less onto the board. So I may just have to cut a piece out of that corner there just to allow the trains not to scuff it, but it's not the end of the world. I'm making sure, because I've got a support there, that the trains aren't as close, so they're going to be more, the track's more or less going to be where my finger is, so I think it's like half a foot, 400 millimeters away from the actual wall. So yeah, the idea with the station area is, I think there'll be a road that's going to go across the top with a roundabout system here, whatever, and then it goes off in to the town. I think in the station building will probably be this side going down. Not 100% sure on what kind of station building I'm going to go for. Along the back here, this might get extended a bit more just so I can have some full set and low relief buildings and make it look more like an actual town, and then possibly something along the back. I'll have a strip of 1mm ply along the back there as well, just to hide, obviously, that, you know, there's a huge gap along the back there. Along the front here, I originally was planning on having 2 branch line tracks run along, go along, and then to the fiddle yard, but it feeds 4 tracks or 5 tracks on the front here. Not 100% sure on that idea. I don't know whether having either 1 or 2 tracks would look a bit all over the place or a bit too much. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, it explains, you know, of what's going to go along here. There'll be a back seam that I put in from the back of the beam down and put some form of buildings and whatnot, and then I'll just grab the board for this just to put it in situ, just to show what my plan of this area is. So I'll be back in a sec, guys. So I've got a ruler here just as a pointer. Just move that board just ever so slightly back. So originally, when I laid out this board, that board, and the board over the back there, they were more or less compact. And this piece here is as it is, because it was more or less by here, which gave me a bit more of a sweeping in and around, but left the station throat a bit too compact and tracks almost going straight and then like a bit of a sharp kink. So I've added two extra pieces in there just to extend it away from the station area. So obviously this piece here I will cut out because I've left the pencil mark there, and off the original old layout Mark 1 layout, if people remember that I had a raised section previous. There's one part of it, there's another part, and there's another part over there. So that was set at 4th and 3rd radius curves, which is ideal for there, because if you can just see, that's where the top, or well, it's not top, but it's a part of what I've cut off the 4% risers, which goes down, and then it more or less, oh, there's missing a few bits, but it more or less comes to here, and then it's on the board. So that gives me a good stretch leading into the fiddly yard, storage yards, and then also gives me a bit more room to put a board in along the back there for easy access to the back 5 or 6 lanes. So they'll come across here, and then my thinking is to sweep it as much. As I said, it'll be by there, they will more or less be flat, or the tracks will be flat straight onto this board. So I'm thinking now that I could probably sweep that a bit more around, and then once they come here, hopefully the tracks are straight, and then I can sweep it properly, sweep it around, and then have the same effect of where it came on a curve through again, and then around along the back there. Try and keep that in, but I'll do it properly this time around. Hopefully if I can lay the track out 100%, pin it down and all the rest of it, mark out, and then I think it's going to be full boards, and then I'll mark out and then do the same along there. So going back to this is where the new canal scene will be going. It's more or less that, but obviously it's quite hard to decipher. So what I've done is I've redone it into this. If I've got, nope, I did bring a pencil. It is. Right. Apologies about the shaky camera, guys. So obviously here we have the station area. It's loosely done, but you're gonna get it from what I'm doing here. So this piece here is obviously this board, and then that bit that goes along the back will be what I'm trying to do there. And then there's an extra piece that I've put in, which is just there to give the incline an actual flat platform to work from. So as I said, directly where this pad is, this is where I'm going to have an apartment block. I'm not sure of whether I'm going to have this one fully complete or it's under construction, as obviously this bit here is going to be the entrance into it. This is going to be the new design, although this is not what that looks like currently, but that will get changed into this, or I might flip it so that this bit here is over there, and this, you'll know what I mean, so that the canal, it actually looks like an old shipping canal. And to be honest, I'm quite liking the height of what it will be. Obviously, to hide the incline on the back, I will put, I've done it here, there will be a fake bridge, tunnel, whatnot, with a retaining pictures of something to hide, you know, hide all this along the back, so it makes it look like the canal is how it mostly looks around the Manchester area, of where it's up and down the country really, of where, you know, it goes under roads, underneath towns and all sorts of business. So on the left hand side here, this will be another apartment block building. There'll be like a little walkway along the front here, car park and whatnot. Obviously in this section here, on, if I grab my original drawing here, I've marked it out with some lines. I was thinking an overgrown embankment here. I'm not 100% sure whether it'll look right, correct, whatever. I'm not 100% sure on this area, but this here definitely, I've done a bit of researching on Google Maps, and from the site I was working on in Manchester, about half a mile, maybe 2 miles down the road, there is actually a part of where the railway is coming along, and then all of a sudden this huge mass of greenery, trees, overgrown bushes, you name it, I'll put a picture at the end of the video to show you, just appears and engulfs the side of the railway line, and you can't see anything railway. So this is the plan here, but I will be putting in the corner there, I have one building at the minute, which is that industrial unit. That will be going, I have worked out the clearance. The bottom of that brick there, just above the mortar, there is enough clearance for the top of the trains to that. Obviously the rest of the layout will have all catenary and all the rest of it. The inclines won't. Prosthetically it'll have it go into a certain point and then it'll just stop on both sides. So that corner piece there, which is all the way up to there, will be more or less changed so that I can put in the scale model scenery road bridge, the modern road bridge that I was building. That will go along there, which is more or less, I think I worked it out to there, just the other side of that orange bottle there. And then what I'll do is I'll cut out and try and put a road in, and then that section there will become an like a little industrial unit area, which, as I said, with working around Manchester, it's, well, you'd be driving through past the housing estate next minute, then all of a sudden you're next to car showrooms and old factories that have been left derelict and all the rest of it. So that's more or less the plan there. This part here, I'm not 100% sure I want to do with at the moment. It might just be that there's a slip road that comes down or whatnot. I'm not 100% sure, but this is just, you know, a rough estimate or a plan that I want along here. I have made measurements for making my arches. There is a bridge style that I want to follow that's in Manchester that goes over part of the canal or the small little dock area, that I am going to do. But the arches, I was thinking of with Craig over at New Drum Junction has just done the Metcalf arches, and obviously these, I tried looking at their website and they say that it's not, that the measurements they put up are not 100% true. So I've put there's 133 132 centimeters high, 25 meter gap, blah blah blah. But what I'm after is I'm 13 centimeters high from base. I think, was I? Yeah, I think from the base to the bottom of that. Oh no, sorry, no, it's I need 13 centimeters high, I'm at 7.2 centimeters, so obviously I need 5.8 centimeters gap, which gives me the full 13 centimeters. Looking at it, it is what it is. I have measured it, whatever. So yeah, I will be creating with watching Tony of Northeastern with his water tower build, and watching him progress with his station has given me a bit of an idea, inspiration of what I'm going to do with all this. I will be doing it myself, and I will do, the back edges, because obviously if I have a camera on the front of trains and whatnot, you are going to see, part of that back. Ideally, I'd like to do some filming from the back, but unfortunately, it's that much of a mess up here until I get everything, all the track and everything laid out, nice and tidy, and buy some shelves. I have no way of sorting all that out at the minute, so that is the plan. And then obviously I've said there'll be a divide here, it'll come up, and then this section here will be a farm, more or less I think to the corner, and then from the corner with the track sweeping round, I will mould. It'll have either side an embankment cutting down onto the railway, so I might have the little village scene along the back there, and then a few of some houses dotted about here, there and everywhere along here. The scenic off the old layout is partly here somewhere. There it is, down the back there, you can just see it. I will be using that, not sure where at the minute. I think I might use it on this part here, and then where that bit is there with the road, put the bridge how I was originally going to do it before, with the bridge going across and then carrying it on. So yeah, that's the plan. As I said, it's all a mess. This side's, until I've 100% put it all down on this side and I know it all fits up until that certain point. Obviously I've got points to order. The double slips I will be operating myself, so it's not an issue. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 points to get. Point motors, sorry. I'm not 100% fixed on what point motors I want to get. I'm looking at SEEP, I think, is it PM2s, that obviously change the polarity. I'm not 100% in or knowledgeable of point motors and all the rest of it, but I think that's what I'm more or less going to go along with. And then the control panel for this, I think, is going to be coming off there, because I think I put in that shelf just so that while I'm up here, I'll do a bit of modelling and whatever else. So I think that's where I'll mostly be sat, give or take. Obviously, I've Hold On Be Elite. I will be keeping that. I do have another one that came with a Pendolino set I will be selling at some point. But I managed to get the NC Power Cab off Reese for a tidy price, which they seem to be a rare thing again. So I need to plug that or set that in situ somewhere. I'm thinking probably there, so I can either make a little jig thing where it sits in, and possibly have 1 or 2 other entry points of, instead of sitting there, I could sit, here and do some filming and plug it in. I'll probably do that further on down the line. So yeah, this was just about, I think it's been going for 25 minutes or so now, so I think we'll wrap it up and we'll carry on. Obviously the previous boards I've put in the shelves, they were nice and tidy. They ain't now. I found some kits that I knew I had, but I didn't know where I'd put them. They're there. They're all from Scale Model Scenery. I will be ordering some more. The one thing I've got the idea of was them low relief factory ones. They will be going somewhere along here. Yeah, so we'll spin the camera around and we'll bid you farewell. So, as you can see, I've been doing quite a bit of work behind the scenes. For those that have recently liked the Beaten Half Junction page on Facebook, thank you very much. I have posted a few little bits here and there of what I have been doing in regards to laying out the new track work and all the rest of it. I haven't posted anything, I think, for 3 weeks, just for the fact of I didn't want to post it and it not be right, or I've changed. But yeah, so I'm at the stage now of where the point motors, I need to order them. I've got some more PVA glue from Wix's, because the other one I've got, well, I'm running on dregs. I've ordered some more rolls of cork from Amazon. So it's more or less getting it to fit this time round, to making it right. Which obviously from the last one we had a few hiccups with running and everything else. So yeah, I'm focusing on trying to get the track work right this time round. I know it doesn't look that way at the minute, but with how I've got it planned, and because it's raised, I've got to lay the track roughly, kind of pin it in place, and then take it up, cut the boards, and then put cork on it, and then put another layer of cork on it for the track, and all the rest of it. One thing I did forget to mention while I am now looking at it, the boards are cut a few millimeters wider than the tracks. Now that is because obviously with the catenary posts, they are, offset. I think there's one or two where I might have to jig out of the retaining wall just a little notch just to fit it in, and then remake the wall. But I think the posts will be the last thing I do, well, all the catenary work really, but I will make, as I'm going along before I ballast, to make sure that I'll set it all in, set all the bases in on the uprights, and then the rest of it I'll put in the last thing once the track's weathered and all the rest of it. I have bought a air gun, spray gun, airbrush, that's the word. Yeah, I haven't used it yet. I originally bought it while I didn't do anything on the layout to spray some of the new Tamiya tanks that I bought. Obviously, I think it was at Christmas time, I think it's WWS Scenics did a competition. I entered with my theme of World War II, with the American armour pushing through a ground of defeated German forces, but German forces had re-entered the area and looking for a surprise counterattack. That board's still downstairs. I just need to weather it and all the rest of it, and I'll probably do that at some stage. There's another plan of a smaller board where I've got a small little diorama layout going along. The other river scene thing is downstairs somewhere. I've not touched it. I know I need to try and do that, but I need some more bandage cloths, which I got from Hobbycraft. I know everyone goes on about Woodland Scenics, but I think Hobbycrafts is like £1 a roll, so you can't, you know what I mean? I think the two that I bought did the whole scenic part of that World War II diorama I did, so for £1 a roll, you know what I mean, you can't beat it. So that's my opinion really. So yeah, if you've enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, and don't forget to click the bell notification. Notice some of you and subscribe that watched. It's, you know, if you'd like to subscribe, that's a fair point. Other than that, obviously, stay safe, stay aware, and keep on modelling. So hopefully, guys, within the next update, it might be a little bit of a while, I've got a bit further. I'll catch you later, guys.